one word I can start off to describe this is Hey everyone, it's JustLatasha. Welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited to dissect and review the premiere episode of Black Mirror called Striking Vipers. They already had me sold when they had all the black people up front of the cover. There is something so exciting about something that makes me want to be a better writer. And this show and this fucking episode makes me want to be a better writer. So that being said, let me make my church announcements before we move on and dive all the way into this. Shout out to my summer look. She is glowing. She is ready. Why am I so dolled up? Because Yayha motherfucking Abdul-Mateen II might be watching. I need to be dressed in the finest of wife materials. Thank you. Please subscribe to my second channel, Aurora TV, where I host a comedy talk show alongside my dear friend, Jameer Pond, called We Shall Overchug, discussing black culture over cocktails, black culture on the rocks. And we have such incredible, amazing guests. And yesterday's episode was a clip show of all of our finest moments. We have drunken debates where you guys get to choose who's the winner, and the winning host gets to humiliate the losing host. We have drinks. We've had David Banner. We've had The Friend Zone. We've had Mandy from Horrible Decisions. We've had such fire guests. Janice and Queen of the Tea with Queen and Jay podcast. We've had such fire guests. And of course, we want to represent all types of black lives. We've had black drag queens. We've had black trans folk on. We really want to be the leading voice, not only entertainment, but in black inclusivity. It's very important to me, and it's very important to my brand, Aurora TV. Head on over there, y'all. What y'all waiting for? Come on. Okay, so now that that's done, let's dive right in. I feel so just like, I feel like I'm tasty, like, okay, so Striking Vipers, the premiere episode of Black Mirror, directed by Owen Harris, starring Anthony Mackie. From the Falcon to the Captain Goddamn America, put some respect on his name. I'm not going to release my feelings about Yayha Abdul-Mateen II. This is not the appropriate place, time, platform. Am I gonna write his name down on my manifestation list? A bitch might. We might. Nicole Beharie. And when I tell you Hollywood, this is how you put your white privilege aside. You let three beautiful nookers take over this episode, and the co-stars, the secondary characters, Asians. You mean there was barely white folk? I mean, even for the most part, down to the extras, there was barely white folk in this episode. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, Hollywood. Move yourself at! We want different stories, and it don't always have to focus on race and the trauma and the troubles. We watched a family go through it, and we watched friends go through it, and that was the T-I-T. Not the tit, but the T. It was the T. And that's what I've been asking for so long, so let's just jump right into it. I love dissecting great films, episodes, series, X, Y, and Z. I mean, the first shot, the opening shot already set the theme of what we are in for. Color, which I'm going to be talking about color a lot in this dissection, tells half the story. You can do action, you can do character, bio, you can do dialogue, but when it comes down to color, color supports the story and visually assists in where the fuck we are and what's happening and what's going on. So the opening shot alone, yellow versus blue, that is going to play a major role in which world, which universe, which reality we're in for Striking Vipers. So that's the opening shot. We already started there. Then we meet a couple. Anthony Mackie plays Danny. Nicole Beharie plays Theo. And they're pretending they don't know each other. We come to discover that they're already doing role play. Let's talk about detail, okay? Let's talk about detail. Look at Danny's jacket. two tigers. We're already talking about twin flame, double duo identity. We're already playing like this twin theme, right? We're already playing like these double themes. And it's so expository of Theo's personality that her pretending to not be sexual was her role playing, because right after that scene ends, we learn that they're a couple that have known each other and that have been together for a long time. We meet Yayha's character, Carl, who comes in. He's just the roommate. He's just the best friend on the side. He don't really got nobody. He dating somebody new yet again. But we see Danny and Theo's relationship be so passionate, so sexual, and Theo really wants the D. This is so important for Black women, because either we are under-sexualized, we're not wanted, we're fetishized, or we are sex-crazed demons. And to show a Black woman just live in her sexuality for her man and bust it open in the bathroom, you gotta walk that line. You gotta walk that line, but it was done so well. And I was right there with her, like, get that Captain America. Girl, get that Captain. Lift that leg up for that Captain America. Yes! Theme hits again. We see the couple having sex, but through a mirror. So we're already being shown these duo realities between what the couple is trying to play to be, who they really are, what lies before them, are they going to exist in another reality, and the play with mirrors. And I mean, come on, it's the title, Black Mirror, but the play with mirrors is very important here to show a duo reality. So here we go, jumping in. Now, after we set that up, we need to have a time lapse, and the show depicts that this is 11 years later. Let me talk about the number 11. Now, if you're a witchy spiritual girl like myself, you understand that 11 is a portal to like manifestation, spiritual worlds, right? Like the number 11 serves as a portal, especially 11:11. That's like new moon, send your prayers up, like the blessings come down, raining down on you. We know that 11:11 is very symbolic in how you communicate with the world that doesn't exist right here in the physical 3D reality that we're constantly experiencing. So 11 years later, it's not just a fluke, it's very intentional, and everything with this series is very, very, very intentional. Also, it just plays with the idea of the duo, right? We have duo realities happening, this parallel reality happening, so yeah, 11 years, that works. We meet Carl and we see how much he hasn't changed. He's still a very wild boy, just out here dating, fucking, hooking up, liking these young girls, liking these like very shallow level relationships, and he's just out here being, being a nigga. He's just out here being a nigga. His boy Danny, on the other hand, Anthony Mackie, he's changed a lot. All right, he's not the bar hopping playboy, happy with his girl. He barely even wants to have sex, and he's just bland and plain and just a boring fucking dad. Right? He lost all his sauce. He lost all his sauce. Obviously, they're no longer roommates. Danny is back with his wife Theo, and they have a home, and they're outside of the city. Meanwhile, Carl is out there in the city kicking it. You know, they live miles away from each other, so they rarely even get a chance to like see each other and have these moments. So the friends, the threesome connect. The threesome comes back to connect. I want to talk about dialogue real quick and how each line in your scripts should serve a purpose. You're either moving the plot forward, you're exposing character or story, or you're making somebody laugh. And so dialogue is very important because the world is already showing, this new place in time where Danny's boring, Carl is wild, and Theo's just there trying to keep a man. It's really what it is. So they start to play this game, Striking Vipers, which they used to play back in the day, but this time there's a virtual reality element to it. Of course, you put the chip on the brain, and here's where dialogue became really cool for me, which I noticed. Danny asks, which side do I put the chip? You think he's thinking logically, he's playing a video game, his best game is Tetris, planning, placing, logic, brain power, boring. So he asks, which side? And Carl's response is, it don't matter. Carl is fly by the seat of your pants, go with the flow, open world, like what's up? So Danny puts the chip on his left brain, and on the left side of his head, which is the left brain, and Carl puts his chip on the right side of his head, which is the right brain. So left brain is planning, logic, systems, putting things in very mechanically, and the right side of your brain is for that creativity side, right? So I thought that was such a minute detail, but that perfectly explores the character and who they are and their personalities. So then, so then, these niggas gets to playing the game. They start playing the motherfucking game, right? Give me that gay shit! Give me all that gay shit! We learn in Striking Vipers that Danny and Carl get to actually embody the characters of this martial art games. And Striking Vipers is a mirror image to Mortal Kombat. We could just say that. The sets are the same, the style is the same, kick fight, whatever. It ain't Street Fighter. No, it's Mortal Kombat. So they get to embody these characters. They go from fighting and Danny getting his ass kicked to Carl taking a big decision and kissing him. Now, Carl is playing a woman role play character, right? Carl is becoming this woman, and Danny is playing like his other favorite character, which is this Asian man. And the characters in the game, Striking Vipers, they kiss. Now, the men playing this aren't physically kissing. They're miles apart in their respective towns. But these niggas is making out in the game. Whew. It got weird for a second. They got back out the game. They got the fuck back out the game. Like, okay. You know, we are cisgender, heterosexual, black men. Danny is married to a woman. Carl is dating women. No matter what level, he's dating women. As far as they know, they're straight. But Carl just lunged in for this big kiss. So what now? What the fuck now? Now I want to go back to the details. So notice that the colors at this point changed drastically. Danny's just trying to go back to bed with his wife Theo, and the world is just gray. The world is super gray. We lost a little bit of life. We lost a little bit of pizzazz, right? Compared to the colorful, bright, beautiful game world. And he's just trying to go to bed. Now, Carl has there's this beautiful shot of Carl just trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, what he's feeling, how he's going to handle it, what does this mean for his identity. And he heads to the bathroom just to refresh his face in this beautiful, perfect fucking shot of him facing two mirrors showing three versions of Carl. Now listen! We have three identities for Carl at this point. We have Carl based in reality. We have Carl based in the game world in Striking Vipers. And we have Carl who might be possibly gay. We don't quite know yet. We don't know. He might be gay. So Carl is looking at two identities that he has to face right now, and which the fuck one am I? Yes. So these guys, after this big moment, are just trying to just settle back into their routines because something real fucking weird just happened, right? But Anthony's world is just bland and boring and grayish, whitish. And Carl is trying his best to just look for that thrill again. We really we need that thrill, but not like that. Because that was odd, that was weird, that was a choice I wouldn't usually make, but he's trying to play a pinball, he's trying to date this girl, and he's really trying, but it don't quite savor, right? It don't quite savor. So what we gonna do? Let's just try this again. Maybe that was a fluke. What are we gonna do? Go back to the game. And this time niggas don't even fight. They get right to the good. Ooh, I'ma top you. I'ma just get right up in them bones. I'ma do it again. Wow. And so now we as an audience can figure they want this. And we want them to want it. We like them wanting it. I like them wanting it. This was one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. It got my goose going. You know what I mean? So what the fuck is Theo doing? We need to ask questions. Where is the beautiful wife, Nicole Beharie, playing Theo? What is she doing? Where is she at? Now, in the real world, in the 3D real, based in reality real world, this girl is trying to catch a cat, but notice how colors come up to play the game yet again. She's in the bar, but she's surrounded by this yellow strip running along the bar, right? Because even though she's in her actual reality, this game reality represented by the color yellow, this game reality is very present and will affect her. So much so, she walks down the block and there's a couple physically kissing in her background. There's a couple being real inappropriate in her presence, but she's disconnected from it. She's just quite I don't know what's going on. So those layers, the way we draw those layers, come on, come on. And the next time we see Danny, he's dressed in yellow. So here's what we're talking about. Now we can understand, even though the reality is like this dead, bland tone, Anthony wearing yellow symbolizes he's invested in this game reality. He wants to choose that side. He is on the ride for the game reality side. He is disconnected from his family. They're not in the same color. They're not connected. He's pulling away just a bit, and we can tell that from color alone. Now, I want to pay attention to a very important detail here. When we originally saw Carl's love life, it's fleeting, it's shallow. He does not connect with his date, who's much younger than he is. He's near 40. She's 28, I believe the age was. And when they first have sex, you know, this girl is literally right next to him, but she couldn't be further away. She's texting, they're not engaging, they have nothing in common, and he's just trying to like have someone just to fill the space. But after he and Danny engage in this sexual relationship on the game, even though they're miles away, we do see Danny texting up late in the bed to Carl. And I think those parallels are so beautiful, that somebody could be physically right next to you and they are a stranger, could be miles away, versus someone you're actually growing closer and more connected to, who is actually physically miles away. So even though they're physically further apart, they're emotionally growing closer, which is the complete opposite of homegirl who's in who's in Yayha's, Carl's bed. What beautiful fucking storytelling. And it's so true. I think when it comes to phones and social media, I think the more we connect, the more we disconnect. And Black Mirror has done such a phenomenal job at playing with those themes, really leaning into social and emotional morality and how technology alters how we relate to each other as human beings. And we wasn't even halfway through the story yet, and those themes were done and handled so perfectly and seamlessly. It was really beautiful storytelling. So about midway, Danny's family is all dressed in blue, and blue really feels cold, it feels sad, but they're all dressed in blue. So we can identify if Danny's pulling away from this game world at this point, really trying to just stick with his family. And we learned that the wife, Theo, is not pregnant, and they've been trying to get pregnant, and they are not. However, there are pops of yellow. And the yellow in this scene where he's just trying to confide in his wife and support her and make her feel okay through not being pregnant, which is emotionally taxing for a woman. There are pops of fresh yellow fruit, and fruit is a life force. Fruit is livelihood. Fruit is tasty, delicious, juicy. It can be sexualized. It can be reminiscent of how the body lusts, but also fruit bears more fruit. It is the womb of itself. So in their human life, the cold, blue, sad world of not being able to conceive life versus the yellow, tasty fruit that can bear life on its own is such a delicious dichotomy existing in a scene without saying much at all. And we know that yellow is just peeking out, luring behind Danny about, come back into this game world, come have sex with your best friend, come play with your best friend, come give your best friend some D, come do it. Come do it. It's just looming around him. They even have this beautiful shot of like that one yellow dirty dish in the dishwasher. Like, come on, you know you want it. You know you're thinking about it. It's in the back of your mind. Is like this one yellow cup or this one yellow candle. If you look in the scenes as you're watching this, all these little bits of yellow pop up when Danny is just trying to play his role. He is always, constantly, even from the beginning when it was just fun, innocent role playing with his wife in the bar, Danny is just trying to play his role as a normal, straight husband who only has eyes for his wife. But this world is reminding him, we see you, nigga. We know what you be doing at midnight. So now after these guys, you know, keep exploring each other's sexuality and lust and sensualities in this game, we start to see their relationship in the game change. It started off with just like this lustful, animalistic sex, like this raw porn sex. And at this point in the movie, this episode, it's turned much more intimate. They're not even having sex anymore. They're cuddling, they're canoodling, they're just staring into each other's eyes. This is becoming an emotionally delicious relationship now. So now we're growing into a different place. This game for Danny has become so much more real than his actual life, even down to him forgetting his wedding anniversary with Theo. You so invested in making love to your best friend in a virtual reality game that you forgot your actual beautiful black ass, loyal ass wife down at home. So what does she do? She go down to the bar. Now here's something incredible. Here comes the color yellow yet again to represent an alternate reality. Theo is sitting at the bar being noticed by some beautiful black man down on the other end, and she is glowing in this yellow light, and this man tries to flirt with her. He tries to approach her, and this is her alternate reality now. Like, what if I took this different nigga? What if I took this man outside of my husband? And that's her alternate reality. Like, can I play outside of my marriage? Because I am not getting none. My husband is not sleeping with me. He not talking to me. He not playing with me and my baby. He ain't even giving me a baby. Like, this is her judge, right? But she loyal. She's like, nah, I'm married. It ain't gonna go down. And the man says, it's okay. I'll leave you alone. What a strong effing line, because she is literally alone. She is totally alone in her marriage, and we see this huge, beautiful shot of her being alone in what she would like to dive in as the alternate reality. Like, don't leave, I want you, but I can't. I'm bound by this marriage. I can't step out, and we see her physically be alone in this glowing yellow light. Now, at this point, I want to draw out a detail, okay? Theo was a masculine name. Should we have seen that from the beginning? That Danny is diving into the body and sexuality of his best friend Carl, who we understand is as straight as a whistle? And when Danny is being sexual with this woman from the beginning until now, that she's had a masculine name, and from what we understand by these stereotypes that need to die, that she has this hungry sexuality too, and she's always had this hungry sexuality too, which could be associated with the old ideas of masculinity, which we know in 2019 do not exist no more, because women are sexual as hell. And we've always liked sex. Y'all just didn't know what to do with. It's really sad. This, y'all, is the face of a liar. Look at it. Lying straight to his teeth, talking about ain't nothing else, girl. Ain't nobody else, girl. I love you, girl. You dicking down your best friend in a virtual reality. Liar! I also want to draw the fact that, again, this episode of Black Mirror is honoring black women's sexuality and giving it space to exist normally, without dissecting it, without over-sexualizing it, without putting like a gaze over it. Theo is so sexual, and every time she sees her man, she just wants it, and she's getting upset and cranky that he is not laying it down. He's not touching her at all. She is upset about she ain't getting the sex that she signed up for. And we also see Carl's partner, who he keeps around. He keeps his shallow relationship around. She's like, if you're not gonna get me off, do you mind if I finish? And she masturbates next to him because he didn't do his job. Yes! Come on. I'm loving the sexuality depicted for black women. So we in too deep. Danny's in too deep. He needs to stop this. He needs to stop this at all costs. And this is the breakup. This is getting too deep. I'm fucking up with my wife. She about to leave. She has other options. I'm playing. I'm gonna get back to my marriage. And Carl is like, what are you doing? See, now what are you doing? And this is what I call 11 turning to 10, because there's a brilliant shot of Carl leaving a tailoring spot, and the number on the door is 10. Now, we went from 11 years later to show that duo identity and that duo reality down to 10. One person is out. Brilliant! One person is out and Carl stands alone. Danny's leaving. He's not doing this game with you no more. He's not fucking you after dark. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. So 11 turns to 10. This breakup scene is super visually stunning and visually important to the storytelling because Anthony Mackie's character, Danny, is walking along the bridge outside and he's facing a city. And the city feels bland, it feels claustrophobic, it feels caged, it feels tight. He's always in these cubicles, these tight spaces. Like his actual world feels like claustrophobic. It feels like he's like choking, right? Like a jail, like a prisoner. But he's outside when he's getting ready to break up with Carl. Like, I'm not doing this game no more. And he's on this yellow bridge showing that the game world is this barrier to Carl. Meanwhile, Carl's inside. Carl's in the city, and Carl is his physical world is blocked by all these walls and these columns. He has this shot where he's like right in front of two columns, which signals the number 11. And Carl heads to this banister within like this mall area. I don't know where he's at, but he's inside staring out, but this yellow bridge is blocking him. So even though they're in two worlds, it's almost like they're staring at each other. Anthony from the outside in, Carl from the inside out, but they're blocked by this game world. We are not worthy of this story. We are not worthy of this story. So now we time jump yet again. We are 7 months later. And Danny's just, he's doing his duties. He's engaging with his son again. He's a family guy. He wants to be the straight and narrow husband for his wife again. But this time, Theo, his wife, is disconnected. She has a wall between them. She's actually dressed in red. She doesn't match the family. So I'm like, is there a surprise coming? Like, is Danny in this virtual world? She's been doing her own virtual world too. Is Danny doing something on the side? Danny, she got a secret? Like, what is that? Like, why is Danny in red? Because you stick out like a sore thumb. So what's happening with Danny? Danny got a trick up her sleeve. She invited Carl over. Ooh. Now at this point I was like, okay, does she know? Does she have a hint? Is she testing him? She's trying him. Like, I want to see what the fuck y'all doing. I want to see what the fuck is happening because I know something's up and you're not telling me. So I want to see. I thought she was like orchestrating, like little devil's advocate a little bit, playing them strings. So I was like, I just really want to see what's happening. So each color at the dinner scene plays such an important role. Danny's in his grayish blue tones. Like, look, I'm back with my family. I'm normal as fuck. Leave me alone. Carl is like, I'm going to serve this yellow because I need you to come fuck me in this game. Come back to reality, sir. I need it. Come back. But Theo's in red. She's not fucking with none of you niggas. Something's up. She don't trust it. She playing nice. She's still playing nice because she knows something the fuck is up. But nobody's saying nothing, right? Everybody is role playing in the actual reality. And it's such an interesting moment where Carl and Danny have been miles apart this entire time. The last time they were together was at Anthony's original birthday party when he even got the game. Other than that, they've only been meeting in this virtual world. And miles apart, we've seen how much closer they've grown together. And now that Carl is finally back, they are physically together again. They're finally physically together again. They couldn't be more disconnected. They couldn't be more opposite. They couldn't be more anti. They're so anti. That dichotomy y'all playing with, y'all tell some motherfucking stories. That's a motherfucking story. And so as Carl is leaving to head out back into his world, we notice that he puts on a blue blazer over that yellow sweater. He has to play normal when really what he wants is that alternate reality. Really what he wants is that game world. And begging and pleading and trying to get Danny on board has not worked. So he has to cover up his actual desires. I mean, final breakup scene in this game world. We literally have our characters standing in front of a game over. This is over. This is it. This is it. Game over in big bright yellow. Carl says, I love you. It don't matter, nigga. Game over. Then we have my men beaten because they need to see if this is real. And They have to see if everything that they're feeling, the emotion, the sexuality, the lust, does that only exist in the game, or is this actually real between us? They have to kiss. They have to kiss. Answer is no. Hell no, this don't exist out the game. The game adds that fire. It adds the secretness of it, the fakeness of it, the role-playing of it. So many elements add to what it is. That's like when you're in a relationship and it's so exciting to be cheating. You think you want that guy. You think you want that guy. You think you want that girl, right? You think you want that person on the side because this relationship, it's just something different and secretive and all the lust. But then you actually break up a relationship and try to date that side person, and there is nothing there. Because what added to all that thrill was everything that you're not supposed to be doing. That's the thrill of it. So now, if you just want to make it real, let's try it. Because the real life kiss didn't work between Danny and Carl, what's next for men? And I think this draws a huge theme in black male masculinity. They got two modes: fuck or fight. Well, they tried to fuck. They found out between two men it wasn't quite working. So what else is there to do? The niggas got to scrapping. They got to fighting. They got to doing all that. And I think there's such a huge conversation that could be had in that moment. If I can't fuck you, I'm going to fight you. And with insecure men and what Theo, Danny's wife, has been trying to push these two men together. Y'all don't talk. Y'all don't share emotions. You guys are not emotionally intimate. You're so blocked off. You guys have known each other for years. You guys don't even talk to each other. You guys don't talk substantially to each other. Just these shallow conversations. Call your friend. Talk to your friend. Y'all need to see each other. And she's pushing them together, and they can't break that emotional barrier. They either need to fuck or fight. It's so good being a black woman. I wouldn't choose nothing else. It is so good being a black woman. She had the best intentions for these two men, but they couldn't figure it the fuck out. So here we are, coming to the end. Theo's pleading to Danny, just talk to me. Something's up and you're not saying anything. Fucking talk to me, because this is becoming a lot. And he decides to tell her the truth. So we make a compromise. You got to make a big decision, bro. What's it going to be? Are you going to be fucking your friend in the game, or are you going to be a family man? Like, we need to have a compromise. So in the final scenes, we see that Danny chooses his family. Everyone's dressed down in lavender. Everything's peaceful. The new baby's here. Everyone's getting along. Danny's just his family man, and it's his birthday again. And we see that they both exchange gifts for Danny's birthday. Danny receives a set of matches, which has a twin flame. We're playing with the idea of doubles and the visualization of that. And Danny gives Theo a gift as well for his birthday. So what's happening with Carl? If Danny's this family man, what's happening with Carl? He owns a cat. He's alone in a dark gray world with a cat. Now, we're going to play with some themes here, because number one, usually someone who's in love and by themselves and with a cat means you're like a single woman. Like, you become the cat lady where like you can't get a man. That's the whole like thing. So it's ironic to see this one with a cat. Like, it just means like lonely lover, which is usually associated with women. But also, don't forget, Carl has been role-playing a woman in this virtual reality game. Carl's body has been female while he's fucking his friend this entire time. So Carl owns a pussy. I'm proud of that one. So in the final exposition, the episode is coming to an end. We settle on June 14th being a pivotal moment for everyone involved. June 14th is June 14th is Danny's birthday, and he gets to fuck his friend on this special day. He gets a pass. And also, the gift that he gave his wife, Theo, which isn't revealed until the very end, is that she gets to put her wedding ring away in this box, because she gets to go out and play down at the bar. She gets to explore outside of marriage her goddamn self. And that's her virtual reality playground. That's her alternate reality playground. So she's soaked in that yellow light, getting some strange D wherever she feel like. And she says she'll be back tomorrow. Danny said he'll also be back tomorrow because he's with his virtual reality getting the puss that he wants, owned by his best friend Carl. And we end with a huge red symbol plastered on the building. I feel like that symbol is going to mean a lot for the episodes moving forward, but it symbolized something or another here in this episode as well. Who knows? But overall, wow. And this dissection was almost as long as the damn show itself, but I needed to hit the notes because every moment, every line, every action, every color was imperative to the overall story and the themes that they were pushing on us and trying to say. Y'all make me want to be a better writer. Y'all make me want to be a better writer. Y'all fucking did that. It was incredible. Please make sure you guys subscribe. What else do you guys want me to review? What else have you guys checked out? What did you think of the striking Viper episode, the premiere episode of Black Mirror? What are your ideas, hypotheses, themes that you discovered as well? I hope I hit majority of the topics, but I'm open to exploring more with y'all at the end. Put the comments down below and also subscribe to Aurora TV. I'll see you guys later. Happy summer. Hey guys, welcome to the JustLatasha channel. I have new videos right here every Tuesday and every Thursday. Please follow me on all of my social media and feel free to check out my last video. For everything else JustLatasha, such as vlogs, events, and my comedy web series, head on over to JustLatasha.com.